Lusternia, Age of Ascension presents Ask Estarra.
Welcome to another episode, and we have an old friend coming back for more questions. You guessed it, it's Tully.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Beep. What? Hey, boy, how you doing? Hello, Tully. How you doing? I'm doing fine, boy. How you doing? Oh, I'm in this world again. Yes, Tully. Just for... Hello, Lusternia. Hello, fans of Ask Estarra. This is Tully's player, John R. Troy, and in the Snoopy doll is our good friend Tully. Okay, so I have some questions for the great elder goddess. I want to talk about the gods, because there is one thing that the player base is it's very weird how the gods have a role in Lusternia. The gods are mortal volunteers. You mean they got others too? Yes, Tully. You know, just like so-called Bobby Delport. Anyway, we've got. It seems that the gods have a sort of a unique thing. Do you see gods as being more of their personalities, or do you see them as a volunteer role that anyone can take?
I definitely don't think god roles are something anyone can take, but rather it takes a special person to play a god role. As an ephemeral, there's a crucible of learning that volunteers have to go through, from learning how to program quests, to handling issues, to overseeing design work, and so on and so on. When they are ready to become gods, I don't force them into a role, because I've learned from experience that a volunteer in a role that they don't want or they don't have sympathy for will burn them out really quickly. So I want them in a role that they enjoy. It's pretty much solely up to the volunteer to choose their role. However, I may have some guidelines that I'll help them work through, and I'll offer suggestions. And if you're a city or commune that wants more gods or new gods, I'll note that volunteers are drawn to organizations who treat their admin well. If you complain and bitch about the admin and the gods, it does not generally make your organization very attractive to new volunteers. And I say that not trying to get you not to bitch or complain, but it's just a fact that I've certainly heard in the past. Volunteers who may be inclined to go to an organization to drag their heels because that organization doesn't have a very good reputation with how they treat their admin. In any case, why don't we ask the gods themselves? And let's visit my magic couch. Okay, so you're a god because?
I like creating, I like world building, I like telling a story, and this allows me to tell a story on a greater level than I would be otherwise as a player.
And why did you choose the role you chose?
I chose the role because I like a great deal of flexibility in my storytelling. I like being able to shift personae. I like being able to draw from multiple sources of mythology, and I have a particular affinity for Crowleyan systems of metaphysics, which Gaudiguch is rife with. It also allows me to draw in things, like more modern-day chaos magic, more esoteric and very obscure texts, that sort of thing, and really have fun with it and not take it entirely too seriously.
I'm a god because I want to leave my mark on Lusternia, and this really gives me a great outlet to do it in a number of ways, both with my in-game role and with my out-of-game duties and projects.
And what do you enjoy most about being a god?
I like having an order. I think it really enriches the roleplay of whatever's connected to it, whether it's a particular city or guild. Because the different systems just tend to interlink in such a way that being part of one often means being part of another. So I like being able to kind of have my hand in shaping the role play a little bit and being able to help it along.
So, why do you like being a volunteer?
So I like zapping people. I like zapping people a lot. I like zapping people in the morning. I like zapping people at night. But really what I like is making it easy for people to zap each other. So I like coding skills so people can fight each other and get into that. I really like that, and that's why I first started. But zapping people is fun too.
So why do you continue to code in Lusternia?
I don't know. I just I like that kind of stuff. I like coding. I like problem solving, and for coding for Lusternia, it's a system I already know. So if you have that base, and there's things you want to add to it, things you want to tweak, it's pretty fun to do.
Why do you think other people want to be a volunteer in Lusternia?
Why do you think other people want to volunteer? Because they want to enrich it. Also, it's an incredible, lore-filled world. It's I like it personally because more than MMOs because you can get into the game so much more. I love text games. Lusternia.
So why are you a volunteer on Lusternia?
I think I like the idea of working with a bunch of people to improve Lusternia. I see it as an interactive story, I guess, and the idea of being able to add to someone's idea and I guess make it fun for the players. That's pretty appealing to me. I like making things fun for people. I guess it's nice to create an immersive gaming experience for someone.
Why do you think people are drawn to different god roles?
Oh gosh, that's a tough thing. And I think it really depends on who you ask. Some people really like the idea of getting an ideal and working behind it. Some people get really tied to an organization and they really want to better it, or they just want to bring in a new aspect of the game that they don't think other people do. It's very subjective, and I don't think there's any one answer to that. I wish we could come up with something better to say.
How much personality would you want to put of yourself in a god role?
You always have to keep a bit of distance because it's not you, it's your god role persona. But at the same time, I think everyone wants to be able to relate to their god role. They want to be able to empathize with it so that it's not unnatural. You have an idea of what you're doing and it's not difficult for you. Everyone is a little bit like their god role, I think, but that's normal. And as long as you can relate to it in some way and you enjoy it, you're going to be fine.
Okay, second question for Estarra. In Lusternia, there are several tropes and classic idioms and classic creatures from fantasy, which, I mean, they're too numerous to name, but at the other time, there are monsters that are specifically missing, and I'm talking about goblins, hobgoblins, trolls, not orcs, ogres, several things, and kobolds, and I'm just wondering, A, what made you choose to do what you did, and B, why are they missing, and I mean, what was your design choice for choosing some and not others?
There really isn't a specific reason why I chose some of the traditional role-playing monsters over others. Sometimes I want to do something completely different, and other times I chose creatures that may fit into the mythos more. Maybe we'll see more of those traditional monsters in the future. Let's think about it and look up a few things.
I'm a goblin. I lost 800 of my brothers today in Esden, but it gets better. You always think that it might not be worth waking up in the morning, because all they give you is a plate of slop, and Zarek Snor doesn't like me, and I'm worried that he's going to fire me. But you know, today I met my friend the Hobgoblin, And it gets better.
Hi, I'm a Lusternia forum troll. All day long, I check threads and make comments about choke, sacrifice, crucify, trample, crucify, trample, sacrifice, and true heal. This is my life. If you'd like to join, we have a group. Trolls Anonymous. Join us.
So tell us, what is your role as a troll in Lusternia?
Troll have rock. Troll have big rock.
Life is pain.
Life is pain.
In conclusion, this is why we don't have goblins, hobgoblins, and trolls in Lusternia.
Alright, finally, I want to know something about the Creator Goddess. I want to talk to you about Appendix N. Now, for any old D&D or worth his salt, Appendix N was like a list of very interesting things that Mr. Gygax and other people involved with the game were involved with. Okay, boy, Appendix N listed stuff from, oh, geez, this book is so big, I can't find anything. Yes, I know, Tully, just keep going. Okay, Appendix N listed lots of fiction, and I would like to know what is your personal Appendix N, Estarra? I mean, I want to know novels, books, TV, movies, and games, both tabletop and video. I mean,
Appendix N. Yes, I've read most of the things in this Appendix N. I've always been a voracious reader. I've probably read 1 or 2 novels a month since I was 10 years old. This means I've read literally hundreds and hundreds of novels, maybe approaching 1,000 novels. So I'd be hard-pressed to say if there's any one that's influenced me the most, but I will say the Narnia series had a big impact on me growing up. That led me to C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy, which led me to a lot of science fiction. I started with H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, and that led to some of the great science fiction authors, Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Asimov, Frederick Pohl, Larry Niven, Alfred Bester. The list goes on and on. Tolkien, of course, was an enormous influence on me, as was Edgar Rice Burroughs, who wrote not only the Tarzan novels, but the John Carter of Mars series, the Earth Core Pellucidar series, some smaller series based on Venus and the Moon. I read a lot of horror novels, Stephen King, Clive Barker, and, of course, H.P. Lovecraft. Currently, I just finished Dance with Dragons by George R.R. Martin, and I love the TV series too. And I've read some young adult novels recently, Artemis Fowl and the Bartholomew series, if you know that one. As for role-playing games, I've played extensively Dungeons & Dragons, obviously. And I've also played Call of Cthulhu and Shadowrun. Probably the biggest television series that had an impact on me was the classic Star Trek, which I cannot get enough of, and I can still keep watching the reruns of that. So anyway, I could go on forever and ever answering this question. Suffice to say that I've always been drawn to and thus influenced by much of the speculative fiction genre, which includes science fiction, fantasy, and horror. So this concludes our episode of Ask Estarra, and I believe Tully has a special dance that he wants to show us. So take it away, Tully.
This is the Munzia. Do the Munzia. Everybody, do the Munzia. All right, that's lame. Goodbye, Basin. Yep, hey, I'll see you in game, boyo.